Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Good day today. Pretty cool. Got a little bit done around the house. To do the weekly shop, all the usual stuff you got to do in your life that you don't really think about, but takes up a couple of hours. Me and Jack shot off to the shop. Mum's still feeling a bit crook, so we took off. I took him up to the shop with me, and he is, as always, a ball of fun. Wants to touch and grab everything. What can you do? It's Jack. He's a legend. He's just full of beans, full of balls. He's just about 2 years old, and yeah, can't go wrong. It's their best age. He's having everything's fun to him. Yeah, spinning the trolley, all the usual stuff. Even helps out putting the stuff up on the conveyor belt. Just a legend. Love him. Had a ball. Very, very cool. Yeah, that was pretty much the day. I got a couple of hours of video editing in this morning. Started putting together the Yanchep National Park one, so that's coming together nicely. Going to spend some more time tonight. Try and clean up where Jack cracked the shits and spat his dummy in the cave. There was a fair bit of chopping and mixing there to make sure it was okay, because he didn't have the good time. He just didn't want to stop. You know, he's one of those kids where if you stop him and he stands still for 10 seconds, it's nah. What are we doing? Let's go. Gotta go. He's 100 miles an hour, and stopping ain't a issue. Ain't in his agenda. He's got to keep moving. He's like a shark. But anyway, it was all good. Got a bit there. Still got a fair bit to add in. So it's going to be a fairly decent video, I think. Like in lengthwise, I've got a lot of footage there. It's a fantastic place. I talked to Ed, one of my good mates, who's born here in Perth, and I told him about it, and he'd never heard of it either. So, for a heads up, if you do live in Perth and you've never heard of Yanchep National Park, definitely chuck on your places to go for like a family barbecue picnic or just a day out with the kids. Awesome, so much to do. There's walks, if they're into walks. If you want to go, as I said in the video, you can go de-stress out, sit down, read a book in just peace and quiet. We went on a Thursday, I think we went there, but I mean it was like super quiet. Weekends would probably be a little bit busier, but still so much space there. It'd be very hard for you to feel like you're getting crowded. So definitely good, and hopefully the video will be out in the next couple of days. I'll be able to upload that for you as well. We're going to move on over to fishing. Fishing. Oh yeah, that's what we're all about, fishing. Forrest Wood Cup, FLW. If you don't know FLW, there's 3 different leagues in the States. You've got the MLF, which is the new one, the new baby, it's got all the big dollars in it. You've got the original, the Bass Elite, or the Bassmaster, and the FLW. They've both been around for a long time. Bassmaster, a little bit different. FLW's claim to fame originally was they used to have co-anglers, and you had a co-angler tournament, so there'd be 2 guys fishing on the boat. Bassmaster was always one fisherman, and you'd have someone coming along. FLW's changed it up this year, so they don't have a co-angler anymore. Their tournaments that come up to the FLW have been changed a bit to make it a little bit better for them and earn some more money. But they've reduced it down so it's only 1 person fishing on the boat. But the good news is with the FLW, and it's something I'd love to do, and I think anyone can do it, doesn't matter where you're from, you can book in and do it. If you want to go and say check out one of these tournaments, you can go, and for, I think it's $100 US, you can get a day out on a boat with a pro fisherman and just see how they do it. Like on one of these gorgeous lakes on a $100,000 bass pro boat doing 75 mile an hour, just, oh man, it'd be awesome watching them sit there flicking and chatting and talking. I think you'd learn so much, and it'd be so much fun. So Father's Day coming up. If you have the means and you want to send your father somewhere really cool and he's a fisherman, something to keep in mind, and maybe you can book him in for next year's. Because this year's over, FLW's over for the season. They just had the Forrest Wood Cup. That's the guy that created it. He's a think he's a billionaire or a multi-mega millionaire. An old guy, really nice old guy. Started up this for fishermen, different sort of kettle of fish. So that's all. It all culminates with the Forrest Wood Cup in August. That's come and gone. Sometimes a winner is decided in this, and that's, I guess, what they hope for. Dudley, David Dudley, I think it was, won the Annual of the Year already before this. It had even been decided. But there's still $300,000 to the winner. Now, this year, one of the mainstays of FLW Tour didn't swap over to the MLF. He's a great fisherman. I've watched him a couple of times. He's always in the mix for going to win. And that's Bryan Thrift. So he's done a fantastic job. Gets a nice little earning check of 303 or 304 grand, I think, US. So that pays for his whole next 3 or 4 seasons. Plus guarantees him into next year's Forrest Wood Cup, which guarantees you a check it straight away for next year. And yeah, it's like sponsors, all the extra that comes with it. It's a huge deal to win the Forrest Wood Cup. It was a very low weight cup this year. Obviously with bass they do weight, and I think it was 38.7 pounds was the total after 3 days. I think his first day he got 15 pounds, second day was 12 pounds, and then finished up with a 10 or 11 pound day, which is not a big fish. It's I'm not sure. They didn't come up as, obviously, maybe they expected a little bit better. Kept it for a really close contest, which was fantastic, but must have been some really tough fishing. 5 fish and you only get a 10 pound, that's like 2 pound fish. Like, oh, that's tiny. So these guys would have been just working their butts off for 3 days straight. Scotty Martin, one of the guys I follow, is really good and has got a great YouTube channel and really got me into the bass side and understanding of it, the mental side and what it's all about. Really good charisma, really nice guy. He ended up, I think, 5th and come 5th for the Angler of the Year tournament contest. So he did really well. And again, he only got 31 pounds. So it's only 6 pounds, maybe. Normally, like, that's one fish in some of these. Depending where they are, what lake they're at, so that could be one fish somewhere. I've seen 10, 12 pound fish come over across the bow of these boats in the contest, so really tough fishing, but yeah, it was really good. Guys did fantastic. Scotty Marks has just released a couple of his tournament ones. He's good. He'll come in after the tournament and release all these videos of each day. He films all his own stuff with Garmin, which are a great product, and not sponsored, of course. And then, yeah, just he'll show you what it's about. He'll tell you what it's about. He's really open about everything. So if you want to learn, and if you want to go on them, the FLW is definitely a place you can look at doing it, because, as I said, it's only $100 to get on. I think it's a Marshall they call it now. So you can get on there and you can go for a day fishing, which would be awesome. Who wouldn't want to do that? I'd love to do that. Obviously, it costs us a fortune to get to the States, but if you're going to spend all that money, go on a holiday and then tee this into an event, so you know you're going to go and then work it all out, go and have a holiday, go somewhere, and then you can just shoot off, go to somewhere, go fishing, bang, come back and meet the wife. It'd be awesome. Anyway, next, in the tech world, the Apple Card. We all knew it was coming. I don't really know what Apple's in. They seem to be more interested in software and events and stuff like that, or in the actual, not into the hardware. They seem to have taken their eye off the hardware aspect, which is what they're all about. You've got an Apple Card, which is a credit card. Points based through Apple. You get money back thing. I don't even know if you're allowed to do that in Australia, how that works in Australia. So if you're not getting points, then what are you going to get if you can't get money back? Really, a bit weird. As a credit card, it didn't look too bad. Just pretty standard credit card sort of features. Nothing exciting, no free flights or anything like that. No free iPad after so many points or anything like that, which would have been ideal for them. If you're going to bring your credit card out, you want to sell it, because because you've got so many users, they should be looking down the barrel of something where every time you think you get Apple points and you can use them to buy items in the Apple store. That would have been ideal, other than money back. It's not as big a sell, I don't think. In the States, it's fairly popular. But yeah, it's sort of, I don't know really how they're going. It's a titanium card, so the card must cost a fortune. I'm not sure if you have to pay for that separate. It's really a good looking card if you're into having a bit of bling. So if you're a bling person, you're that Apple fan. I'm an Apple fan, but I don't need another credit card. I've got enough of them already, and really, do you really need a titanium one? It's just a credit card. I'm not sure what Apple's trying to do. Again, you have to specially order in the card. Most of it's based around the Apple Pay system. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes for them. I'm sure they'll make a fair bit of money out of it. I don't think they've done it the right way. They could have done it towards some sort of Apple reward program, which would have been really good. But it doesn't seem that they've just sort of brought it down. It seems to be more of a money system than really some sort of benefit to us Apple users. Next up, I don't know if you're in Australia, you go to Coles, you get the little shopper things. Woolworths get their own little animal things. It's just more plastic rubbish that piles up. If you don't take them, you're not getting any value out of them. I've got a heap of them I don't use. If you do need some, I've got a big bag full of unopened ones. Just pop us a line and I can get them off to you. If it helps out the kids or whoever's, itchy nose, looking for them, we can definitely help you out there. It's strange that we keep pumping plastic through. I'd be happy if we don't need any more plastic. I don't think half the crap you get in the shops ends up in the rubbish bin anyway. Even like with processed foods, even vegetables and stuff like that nowadays, or meats. Like, we had an awesome butcher at our Coles at Caversham. When they first opened it, it was really friendly, really helpful. Awesome, we cut the steak exactly how you want it. They ended up getting rid of the butchers, and it's all pre-packaged stuff. It's like, Coles, crap move, Coles. I've said it in a couple of surveys, you never replied, you haven't done anything. You finally brought back the bakers, and that's pumping again. The butchers, you could piss off half of that row of meat that's just pre-processed and sell your own stuff. People would buy it if it was fresh cut off you, but you refuse to do it because it's too easy and you don't want to pay someone a wage, which is pretty average for such a big player. And for such a big shop it is too, and there's plenty of people that go there, and I'm sure they all would feel the same if they could get fresh stuff by the mince, by the kilo as they need, instead of just keep constantly buying packaged. It's just plastic, and it's all the profits. I understand that, and I understand it's a business, but you can probably charge a little bit more for that customer service that you could get off a great butcher. And you did have a great butcher. I'm not sure if he still works there. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he didn't get the sack when you decided to put money in front of people. But fingers crossed. But so if you do need those little store toys, give me a yell. I've got probably 10 or 20 of them here. I can give them to you. I can flick them off in an envelope and flick them over to you if you're in Australia. No States, because you don't want them. It's plastic. Right, also else, there's a bit of news today. Pretty exciting. Apart from my itchy nose, which is really annoying the crap out of me. It hasn't been itchy all day. The new Supra, I don't know if you have seen it. The Stradman, one of the car guys I do follow, he got one of the first ones. They paid a fortune for it, $60,000 US for a epoxy Toyota Supra. It's got a 3-litre in it. Sounded great. He wasn't happy. He's going to put exhaust on it. He's already got body kits onto it. It's like a week old. He's already got body kits getting tacked onto the side. Too much money than sense. It's the same price as a brand new C8 Corvette in the States. Can you believe that crap? So I don't know what they're going to be worth in Australia, the Corvette, those C8 Corvettes, a big V8, and they looked amazing. It's got all the body kits and everything on it. He's ordered one of them as well, because when you're loaded and you're rolling in $1 million YouTube money, why wouldn't you? But so A really nice car. The Supra looked fantastic. Looks like a great car, but super mega overpriced. I think he said he paid like 10, 15 grand over sticker value. So realistically, it's probably a 45 to 50 grand car, which in Australia is probably going to be $100,000 to $150,000, and it's a small car. He parked it next to the C8 Corvette, and it looked tiny. It looked like a Dado next to a Commodore. That's how small it looked. And there's no way people are going to pay 150 grand for that. That's insanity. Absolute craziness. Great looking car, great sounding car, everything in it. Like, he flogged hell out of it in his first couple of days, and it looked really good, and it handed up to everything. Drove across country, fantastic, that's great, but I don't think it's going to be worth the cash once it gets to Australia. If it's anything above $100,000, well, you're just dreaming. Like, it's a Supra, they're tuners cars. Like, I don't know where these car companies are going. Like, a tuner car, it was a GTR, it's now $200,000. Who the hell's going to afford to tune it after you've wasted $200,000 on it? It used to be 40 grand. 40 grand Australian, now it's 200 grand. Like, what the hell's happened in the last 15 years, 20 years since they come out? Like, the world's gone mad for car prices. Absolutely ridiculous. They haven't changed that much in the States. Like, 60 grand is probably the right price for a top of the range car like a Corvette. It ain't for a Supra. There's no way you'd be paying that. 40 grand at max for the top of the range. But yeah, anyway, so Supra's out. Check it out. There's plenty of videos online if you are a Supra fan, Toyota Supra fan. It does look great. Sounds great. Just, yeah, I can't imagine too many getting sold in Australia if that's the sort of money Toyota's going to be throwing at it. So see what happens. We don't have with the taxes on it as well, it's probably going to be really harsh for us Aussies. And last but not least, we did talk about last but not least, I'll say that again. We did talk about Jeffrey Edelson the other day, the underage accused person with his suicide. Well, it's just gone all over the news. I didn't even think it was going to be that big in Australia. Well, apparently it is, because it's blown up on the net. There's conspiracies running around that the Clintons organised to get him hit. They're saying it's not a suicide. They tried to knock him off the other week. He said, no, I didn't try and nick myself. Someone tried to do me in. They've removed his cellmate, turned the telly off, taken him off his 30-minute suicide watch, but he's somehow suicided. Very, very suspicious. And if you love a good conspiracy theory, this is probably one to watch and keep an eye out for, because it sounds like some funny business, no matter what. Whether he's suicidal or what, 90% of the rules got broken for someone that's on suicide watch, and obviously he knows a shit ton about people that are higher up in the politics, presidents, ex-presidents, all that stuff. He knows them all. He's a billionaire. What billionaire kills himself? Like the billionaires, they got all the money in the world. Even if they go to prison, they're going to be solitary. They got the money to buy whatever they want. Like, really? Anyway, it'd be interesting to see how that one goes. It should be a bit of a laugh, and that's a tragedy that it's actually got to this point, that someone that was a piece of crap has gone and done this, and now it's going to turn into a story that could go on forever. Anyways, that's about it for me. Fairly busy day on the news scene. There's a fair bit I wanted to get through, fair bit to chat about. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whether it's breakfast, lunch or dinner, whether you're going to work, coming home or going out, I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Great tunes. Oh yeah. Yeah. See ya.